Ramadan is finally here and I have 3 new recipes that'll make sure you're full during Suhoor time. What's up guys, I'm Shampa and welcome back for another video. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Shampa. I love cooking and I'm making some really good recipes for you this Ramadan. If you're Bangladeshi just like me, definitely check out my Bangladeshi iftar video where I create a bunch of iconic Bangladeshi foods that people who are Bengali usually eat every year for iftar. It is just so good, some of my favorite foods ever. But for this video, we're focusing on Suhoor. If you're not familiar with what Suhoor is, it is the meal before dawn. So right before we're about to start our fast, we just have one more meal. The times definitely vary, but it's around 4 to 5 a.m. depending on what time of year it is. You want to make sure that you're having food that'll keep you sustained throughout the day. I know for people like me, it is extremely hard to get some food in myself that early in the morning. So the recipes that I'm providing for you, they're gonna be kind of light, but also protein packed. And remember, these are just suggestions. You could always add in some other sources of protein along with these recipes, okay? And if you haven't done so yet, make sure you're subscribed to the channel because we have so many more recipes coming up. I mean, it is the month of Ramadan. I'm so excited for all the food that we're gonna be eating. So you better make sure you're subscribed here on YouTube and also on my social media, both on my Instagram and TikTok. So let's stop talking, let's start cooking. One of my favorite meals is a shakshuka and we're doing the Italian version. For these Italian baked eggs, we're chopping up some garlic, a little bit of shallots, and we're gonna use this as our base. Right now I'm adding in some olive oil and I'm actually adding in some sujuk. If you don't know what sujuk is, it's a very cured spicy meat. This is halal, don't worry. And it's gonna get golden brown on each side. Once it's golden brown, we're just gonna start removing it and then adding our garlic and shallots back in. Once we saute them till they're golden brown, we add in our tomato sauce with some salt and black pepper and some Parmesan cheese. We're gonna start mixing it up. You can even add a little bit of water to get it a little bit more runny, and I'm adding in some fresh basil. And once I cooked it on low for about 5 minutes, I'm adding my sausage right back into the pan. If you feel like your tomato sauce is cooking quickly, I suggest add a 1/4 cup of water. Or you could just add some more tomato sauce, but once you have your sausages, we're gonna start cracking our eggs. I'm making this for about 2 people, so I'm gonna be using about 4 to 5 eggs, but you can definitely make more and kind of just meal prep this. I finish off the eggs with some salt, black pepper, and a little bit of water, and I steam it. Cook your eggs depending on how you like it. If you like it more soft and runny, cook it for 30 seconds. If you like your yolks a little bit harder, try cooking them for a minute. This chia seed pudding with my homemade date cardamom granola is so easy, one of the quickest breakfasts you could possibly have, and so customizable. You can add whatever dried fruits and nuts you like. For today's recipe, I'm using a combination of dates, pumpkin seeds, almonds, and walnuts with some oats. I'm throwing in spices like cardamom, cinnamon, salt, nutmeg, and then I'm adding in some hemp seed, a little bit of maple syrup. You can also substitute this with honey if you want, but it's just important that you have something kind of sticky to have all the granola stick together, and just lay them out evenly on a baking sheet. It's important that you lay out all the granola evenly because this is just going to help everything bake together and just be very nice and golden brown. I'm gonna throw this into the oven for about 350 for about 30 minutes, making sure that I mix it up halfway. This is just gonna ensure an even golden brown baking. And look how golden your granola is. You can then just place it into a container that's safe and it'll keep for about a month. Your chia seed pudding is super easy as well. It's about 2 to 3 tablespoons of chia seeds, about a tablespoon of honey, and a 1/2 cup of your milk of your choice. Some people like adding some cacao powder, others like adding some protein powder, but you can just add whatever you want. You're gonna wrap it in some plastic and then refrigerate it for about a minimum of 4 hours. This fruit chaat is super optional, but when I topped it off with my chia seed pudding, it was so delicious. Basically, it's a Pakistani fruit salad where you add your favorite fruits, a little bit of mint, some black salt, some fruit chaat masala, a little bit of orange juice, and pomegranate molasses. It's a beautiful combination of sweet tart flavors, and once you refrigerate it, you serve this right before you're about to break your fast. And now it's time to assemble my chia seed pudding. I have my granola with all the crunchy and aromatic nuts and oats, and then I'm gonna top it off with that fruit chaat. I think what really worked well was kind of the warm spices of the cinnamon and cardamom, and then the bright flavors of the fruit salad itself. It's just a really good breakfast item. Our last recipe is going to be these fluffy egg beef bacon breakfast sandwiches, and they're so easy to make. In a food processor, add your eggs, your low-fat cottage cheese. I'm also grating up some regular cheese like cheddar cheese and Monterey Jack. I also recommend Gouda for this as well. This is super optional, but I'm chopping up some scallions, and this is going to be my topping for my eggs. We're gonna throw the cheese back into the food processor along with some salt and black pepper and just pulse it till it's completely smooth. I'm gonna use a sieve to pour the egg mixture out because there's going to be a lot of clumps like the cheese and the cottage cheese. Basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add this back into the food processor, also just blend it, and if it doesn't blend more, I'm gonna add a little bit of milk or heavy cream, blend it one more time. If you didn't use the cottage cheese, you're not gonna have this problem, but once your eggs are in the baking dish, add in your scallions, and now we're gonna bake them in a water bath. So I have some hot boiled water, and I'm going to pour it till it hits about 1 inch on the bottom of this baking dish. Cooking this in a water bath is going to ensure that our eggs are super fluffy. And if you like those Starbucks egg white bites, this is kind of like a similar technique. This is kind of like a DIY sous vide technique that we're using. Another way we can ensure fluffiness is by cooking this at 300 degrees for 1 hour. And as you can see, it's going to turn nice and fluffy. For my breakfast sandwiches, I like another element, so we're frying up some beef bacon. Don't worry, this is completely halal. You can find this at your local halal grocery store. I will say it is a little bit expensive and it is fatty, so just be aware. I'm also doing a really quick breakfast sandwich sauce, just some mayo, sriracha, and some paprika, garlic powder, super simple. I'm using whole wheat English muffins. I don't know what it is, but I just love using English muffins as a breakfast sandwich. Look how fluffy our eggs are. This is so beautiful. Like, going to a cafe and paying for a sandwich like this literally costs me about $15 to $16. You can easily make this at home. And your breakfast sandwich is now done. All of these recipes are so overpriced at your local brunch or breakfast spots. I'm telling you, it is so much cheaper. You make it at home, you can meal prep this. They don't take much time and you'll be ready to eat for suhoor. Thanks for watching my video this week. If there's something you'd like to see next time, comment below.